Valorize your mental health because your mental health is everything worth prioritizing. Guys, today's episode is full of woto up and down. A lot is going on, too much drama. Do you know that Clara finally left with Hans to Canada? Now that she left with Hans to Canada, what does that mean? Does that mean that she has opened the doors of her heart for Hans to come inside? Wow. Today we are going to find out. And what about the divorce between her and Jonathan? No, she is still legally married to Jonathan, right? But Jonathan on his own part is married as well to Cheta. And Cheta is planted by who? By Emeka and Debbie in the life of Jonathan to destroy Jonathan completely with it. But Jonathan can't seem to read the handwriting on the wall. But this marriage is a fake one because Jonathan can no longer marry in court again without a divorce. You see, right? So it is an aspect of bigamy, but this was done by Emeka, fake mayor, fake office, fake everything, and the marriage was done. Now the marriage is done. What next? What becomes of Jonathan? Cheta is in the house. Benny could no longer find it funny again with Jonathan because she had lost her cool completely. How it all started, remember that Clara gave Hans a condition. If she needs to go with Hans to Canada, then Hans needs to buy a house in Benny's name and also deposit huge amounts of money that would take Benny all along while she is not around. And Hans did it, and everything was done and handed over to Benny. So now Benny owns a house and Jonathan is not even aware of it yet because Jonathan is not someone to share such good news with. And if Emeka happens to hear this, Emeka will not have him lying down with this news, right? He will try a means to see what he can do as far as that is concerned. But Clara, being wise enough, put the name under Benny. So Jonathan cannot sell the house, Emeka cannot sell the house. Now, talking about Jonathan went jubilating with the friends, with Emeka and Debbie, dining and whining with his enemies and telling them that he has found the best wife ever on earth in Cheta. That's barely 2 weeks of knowing Cheta. Jonathan is already comparing Cheta with the virtuous woman Clara, saying that Clara disrespected him, but Cheta respects and adore him. And Emeka said, why not go ahead and get married to this Cheta? And Emeka had to fund the wedding. Jonathan got nothing, right? Emeka had to fund the money using Jonathan's money that they stole from Jonathan through his car to support Jonathan get married to Cheta with it. This Cheta of a woman, guess what? Immediately they were in Jonathan's father's house, they were celebrating the union because they finally got married. But before they got married, what happened? Jonathan had to break the news to Auntie Teresa and Debbie and Benny. And Benny said over her dead body that she will not accept any woman or let any woman replace her mother in her life. No way. That's a very good one from you, Benny. And Auntie Teresa was like, she is not in d'accord with this journey that Jonathan, or this new chapter that Jonathan wants to take. And Jonathan said it's his life, it doesn't concern anybody. He needs a woman in his life. He cannot keep being lonely. After all, Clara have gone with another man, so he needs to move on as well. So he went now and got married to Cheta. That's how they were marrying and jubilating and celebrating. Emeka was popping champagne without the knowledge of Kennedy, because they know that if they tell Kennedy, Kennedy is going to sabotage it all and their plans will not be effective. So they kept it hidden away from Kennedy. So Kennedy will be shocked to realize that Jonathan is married and Clara is gone to Canada. Now the question here is this: how will Benny react with Cheta in the house? Now Debbie came to see Cheta to congratulate Cheta, and here is the real story about Cheta's coming into Jonathan's life. Cheta was a prostitute, a street girl, a street harlot who doesn't have a home, who doesn't have food to eat. But Cheta was now used by Benny to use Jonathan and destroy Jonathan with it. So now they equip Cheta, clothe Cheta, and give Cheta a car to act as if she's a rich lady, so that Jonathan will look into the richness of Cheta and embrace Cheta very fast. So Jonathan is now happy that Cheta is a rich person and Cheta will fund and take care of them. How can a man be this low? How can a man be dependent on a woman's money? This is unheard of. And now Cheta was in the house. Baby was telling Cheta that you have to play your card smartly, because they have decided that they have to split every money that they get from Jonathan into three: Cheta's own share, Debbie's own share, and Emeka's own share. That's they feed and live on Jonathan and the family. Now, Cheta was in the house as they were discussing with Debbie. Benny now came into the house. Benny was shocked to see the Debbie with Cheta together. You know, as smart as she is, she always thinks very fast. She had to something is not right between these two. She asked Cheta, have you two known each other somewhere? Cheta quickly refused and debunked it. And Cheta now told Benny that Debbie came and introduced herself as her mother, Clara's best friend, and she came to congratulate her. And Benny turned and told Debbie that never you step your leg again in this house. My mother is not here. All your plans are working, so go and jubilate. You succeeded to tear this family apart. You succeeded to chase my mother away, and now you have succeeded to make my father marry another woman. So I don't know your problem. Get out of this house and never come here. Go and jubilate. You see that she knows everything that is happening, right? Her instinct tells her everything. And Cheta now trying to gain this child's love. What did Cheta do? Cheta had to do what? Shout and yelled at Debbie. Upon yelling at Debbie, Debbie was like, I don't get it. Are you talking to me like that because of this brat? Cheta said, yes, get out of my house. It is her father's house. You have no right talking to her the way you did. You have no right questioning her in this house. So pack your luggage and get out. I will not stand here and tolerate that. And Benny looked at them and left to her room. And they smiled and Debbie left. Now, Cheta, thinking that she has outsmarted Benny, not knowing that Benny is more smarter than them. What happened? Cheta went to the room to see Benny in the room. Benny told Cheta that you don't enter my room without knocking. Courtesy demands you knock. Cheta said, I am sorry. Benny asked, what is it? She came, she wanted to bring the drama that happened downstairs to Benny. Benny said she's not interested in it. And Debbie said, let her get out. She wants to undress. So when she left, she was so annoyed. She said, okay, I want to tell you that I prepare your delicious meal, your favorite. When you finish undressing, calm down and I serve you so that you eat as the queen you are and the princess you are. So she went downstairs. She had to prepare this food and serve it to Benny. When she served this food to Benny, she could not allow Benny eat with interrogations. She now asked Benny that, is it that your mother never saw that Debbie was evil? And Benny told Cheta everything. Told Cheta that, see, my mother is somebody that is naive, pure in heart. When she loves blindly. She doesn't see the obstacles or your fault. I told her countlessly that this her friend is a snake in green grass, but she couldn't listen. So finally, she is the cause of my mother's separation with my dad, and she is the cause of destroying this family. So everything that she is planning, I'm conscious of it. And Cheta asked if Big Joe is also aware. She said Big Joe is not aware because Big Joe is also like the mother. They don't see their enemies. They dine and eat with their enemies without seeing. And Cheta was like, if this child could be saying this, meaning I need to be very careful with this child because this child can easily spot me out. But guess what? Something happened that I'm so proud of Auntie Teresa. Auntie Teresa protected this child from harm. Auntie Teresa fought for this child. Just you watch and see what happened. Jonathan just stepped out from the room and started shouting at Benny that, are you mad to slap me? How dare you raise your hand on me? Guys, I think something is fishy here. Yes, maybe the CCTV footage that is in the house planted, I don't know, maybe by Hans or whosoever that was planted in the house. Maybe Debbie, in the course of discussing the discussions he was doing with Cheta, they got it in the CCTV footage, and this child now had to present it to the father because I don't know what must have happened that this child would slap Jonathan, because Jonathan just came out. So it looks like it is a drama they are trying to play here. Let's just keep watching, guys. And now Cheta got the news that, how dare you say that your daughter slapped you? Cheta went to slap Benny, calling Benny a spoilt brat. And guess what? Benny gave it to her hot, woto, beating back to back. And Jonathan was standing there and watching. But guess what happened? When Jonathan was watching it, Jonathan now removed his belt that he's going to beat the hell out of Benny with it, that he cannot be feeding and clothing Benny and Benny will be disrespecting him. And what happened? Benny seized that belt from Jonathan and told Jonathan that if you ever try it again, I will not hit you because I have respect for you as my father, the little respect as a father, because I don't even owe you anything again. You are a useless he-goat. And Cheta was like, what? Cheta now wants to beat again. This child flogged Cheta. And when Cheta wanted to flog this child, guess what? Auntie Teresa came and pulled Cheta out from Benny's body and told Cheta never in her miserable life raise her hand on who? Raise her hand again on this Benny. That if she ever tries it, then she will have her to contend with. That she should be very careful and have her limit in this house. That Jonathan can raise his hand on Benny, but Cheta should never dare it in her miserable life. Insulted Cheta and told Cheta that she is shameless and worthless. That she cannot come into this family and scatter this family or scatter father and child. Never, not under her watch. And she took Benny and they left. Jonathan was standing there watching. That's why I said that something is fishy somewhere. Maybe Jonathan is also playing a game here, because Jonathan must have heard their plans. Or maybe Jonathan is ignorant. And when they went to the room, Cheta was shouting and screaming at the loudest voice. And Jonathan told Cheta that, see, no matter what, that's my daughter. Don't interfere in our matters. Don't raise your hand on her. That is how she is. Take her the way she is. Cheta said never. She never came into this house to pamper anybody. That she's going to teach that daughter of his a bitter lesson of her life. But trust Benny now. Benny is not that type that takes rubbish. Now, Auntie Teresa went with Benny to the room, and Benny was massaging her hands because Cheta hit Auntie Teresa a bit. So as Benny was massaging Auntie Teresa's hand, Benny told Auntie Teresa that she needs to teach Cheta and the father a lesson. That anybody that give it to her, she's giving it back to that person. 10 on 10, 100 on 100. That she's not going to spare those two until they leave this house. And Auntie Teresa was like, no, my child, don't do this. Don't do this, okay? Stay away from trouble. And Benny said silence is going to worsen the matter. So they need somebody that will give it to them back to back as they come. I am ready and I'm going to dare them. Nobody will trample on me. My mother Clara is no longer here because of these people. I am going to teach them the bitter lesson of their life. Guys, let me hear you out in the comment section below. What do you think about all this? Are you happy to hear this? And now, what becomes of Cheta when Cheta will discover that this child cannot gain? What becomes of Cheta now that Cheta have discovered that this child, you cannot buy her? Because Cheta was trying to buy this child and have this child on her side and then manipulate this child. But Benny is not that type. Benny is a brave lady, a very strong one at that. Guys, don't miss out on the next episode. Just imagine when Benny will inform Clara of what just happened. How will Clara's reaction be? Remember, Clara never wanted to go anywhere because she wants Benny to be safe. Let me hear you out in the comment section below. And as for Auntie Teresa, it is good as she is in that house because she's now there to protect Benny. It would turn out to be that it is Benny's biological daughter. Stay tuned. It will turn out to be that Benny is her biological daughter. Stay tuned.